So good morning. How many of you here think that you could be more productive and do more at work or in school? Okay. How many of you have ever missed a birthday or an anniversary or a get-together because you were too busy at school and you forgot to put it on your calendar? Okay, good. I'm in the right room. My name is Dr. Emily Letran. I'm a dentist. I've been a dentist for 23 years. I'm also a certified high-performance coach, so I help individuals, regardless of their career path, maximize their potential, do their best in everything they do, so they can have free time to spend with their family, their children, and pursue their passion. And I'm very honored that you took your time out today to come and listen to this, and I'm thankful that the UCR Women Conference put on this event to give you relevant and important information. So let's just give them a round of applause. Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm just like you. I grew up with 2 parents and 3 siblings. But I was born in war-torn Vietnam back in the 60s. So growing up, what I saw on TV were bombing, dead bodies, people fleeing villages, and a lot of propaganda. In 1975, the communists took over Vietnam. There were long lines, getting food, whether it was to get rice or stale bread, or it could be noodles with mold. There were meetings, neighborhood meetings and youth meetings. And then a series of unfortunate events happened to me. At the age of 8, I lost my mother due to cancer. At the age of 13, I left my dad. I went with my aunt, my older brother, and 4 cousins. We left because there was an impending draft for all the young men since Vietnam was going to go to war with Cambodia in the east and the Chinese in the north. Now, I'm a girl. I wasn't going to be drafted. But my dad told me, you're the oldest girl in the family. You got to go help your aunt. So I left, and I never saw him again. Because he passed away several years later, and the 2 countries did not have normal relationship. There was no possibility of going back and visiting him. So how many of you have been on a cruise? A couple of you. How many of you visited an exotic island? Okay, me too. My first cruise was on a fishing boat. It's about 50 feet in length with 60 people crammed together like sardines. My exotic destination was a deserted island in Malaysia. It was a refugee camp where we live in makeshift shelter with limited food, water, and electricity. So we came here as refugees. Our luggage were hope and faith. And we came here having escaped the communists in Vietnam. So imagine coming to this country when you're a 13-year-old without your parents. Would you choose to remain timid and alone because you didn't speak the language? Would you give up when you face challenges, such as the shortage of financial support, the limited family support, and the challenge of not having a car? So when I came here, my goal was very simple, just to survive. I translated almost every word at night from English to Vietnamese so I could understand what was taught to me at school. I woke up at 5 o'clock every morning to deliver a newspaper by 6 o'clock. This is back in the day when people read newspapers. I walked to school every day, rain or shine. I slept on the floor for several years because there were 10 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I remember in dental school, at one time, I went to volunteer in Chinatown, and on my way back to UCLA, my car died. So I had enough money to have the car towed to a shop close to my apartment, but I know very well I didn't have money to get it out, because my grant check wasn't going to come for another 3 weeks. So I ended up borrowing money from one of my friends, and she borrowed money from her newlywed husband, because both of us were the first one in our families to go to professional school. And our families could not afford to help us. We were living off of grant, scholarship, and working. I always had a job from high school. So, during break, when people were going out of town on those nice trips, I was on the phone with the temp agency, making sure that I'm going to have a job for the next break, whether it was spring break, Christmas break, or summer break. So I want to let you know that the struggles are very real, that all of us go through challenges. And sometimes when you're in those difficult moments, going through challenges, sometimes you just want to give up. Sometimes you get really frustrated. So I want to ask you, what is your boat story? What's holding you back? It could be a very difficult schedule. It could be a dreaded relationship. If you're working, it could be a dead-end job. Are you trying to get out of your refugee camp? Those difficult moments when things just are overwhelming. Maybe 24 hours is not enough for you to do everything in your life. So, with me, I've been through that challenges. And I've learned that at one point, I got out of school, I was building my dental career. I have up to 3 dental offices at one time. And I raised a beautiful family, have 3 children. But at one time, there was so much priorities taking over my life that I started missing time with my family. And when my daughter, when she was in 6th grade, told me that you missed my performance when I was in 2nd grade, she waited 4 years to tell me that. I realized that I have to get back on track, take control over my life, and draw the correct boundaries. So I spent time studying, going to classes, listening to CDs, watching videos, hundreds of hours. I invested in myself, spending money to learn all these skills so I can take control of my life. And now I want to help people like you, could be very young, you're in school, you're trying to start your career, or somebody who may be more seasoned. I want you to be able to enjoy life with your family and still have a successful career. Because now, my kids think I'm the best mom in the world. And remember, you claim your title because nobody else will claim it for you. I'm the best mom in the world because now I'm always there for them. I'm there at all of their performances. I drove 8 hours to San Francisco to watch my kids sing. They sang 3 songs in 2 days. But I wanted to be there so I can watch them get the trophy. And I'm there for those Taekwondo promotions. They tend to have it at 7 p.m. So at 6:30, I'm rushing out my office, trying to get there in time to watch my son break a wooden board and take a picture for the 10th time, right? But it's those moments that make life special, because life is all about relationships. At the end of your life, you don't want people to remember you as, with a title like a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant. You want people to know you as somebody who worked tirelessly to build those relationships that actually matter. So what if today is the last day of your life? How do you want people to remember you? What do you want them to think of when they hear your name? So I learned that being able to function as a high-performance person is a key to achieving success. And not just in business life, but also in personal life. So what is high performance? High performance is a result of heightened and sustained level of clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence. And high performance means you're excelling and succeeding above the standard norms consistently over time. The key word here is consistently. And you want to have the feeling of full engagement, of joy, of confidence, and that comes from consistently living into your full potential. So today, we're going to talk about fast track to high performance, leveraging time to create social impact. So leveraging time is part of productivity, and productivity is a pillar in high performance. So the old way of thinking is productivity is a checklist. You got a list of 10 things you're going to do, you check them off, you're productive. Or people think of it as a daily planner or a weekly planner. I'm going to do this on Monday, I'm going to do this on Wednesday, I'm going to do this on Friday. But that's not really productivity. Nowadays, with all the technology that we have, you would think that people are more productive than they could be, right? You have all of those apps. There's an app to remind you to take so many steps. There's an app to remind you to pray. There's WhatsApp where everybody's talking and you seem to be in the conversation all the time, whether you want it or not. There's this thing, the phone, that acts like a computer, so you can always take your work with you everywhere, even to bed, right? But people think they're more productive, but they talk about productivity with frustration, with stress. I want you to approach productivity with joy. And the only way to do that is to adopt a new thinking, which is to live your life with intention. So I'm going to give you some high performance habits, okay? Tomorrow morning when you wake up, do not check your email. How many people here wake up and check their email? Okay, now you realize that checking your email, the email is other people's agenda for you. They're asking you to do this. They're asking you to get that, right? You want to live your life with the intention to fulfill your own life. So one thing you can do is start a productivity sheet every day. You're going to write down 3 things that you intend to do that day. 1 to 3 things. Then on the left-hand side, you want to write down the people who need to connect with you in order for you to achieve those 3 things. And on the right-hand side, you're going to write down the people that you have to reach out and connect to in order to achieve those 3 things. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I want to remodel my office. And we're at that step where we're going to lay the tile floor. How many people have ever done remodeling in their house? Okay, so you're at the step where you're going to put down the tile floor. The people who need to connect with you are those contractors. They need to get to you by 8 o'clock and show up at 9 so they can start their day. The people that you have to reach out to could be the inspectors. You need to reach out to them to make sure that they're going to come and inspect the floor. So then you can put on the cabinets or whatever go on top of the floor. But if you just kind of let it be, and the contractors are going to call you at 11 and they tell you they're going to be there at 2, you just lost half of the day and you probably will not get that tile floor done. Does that make sense? A little bit? Okay. So the next thing in productivity is you need to learn to say no. How many of you here may have young kids in elementary school? High school? Okay. Well, this is very common with parents is you think you're in high school, so you're going to compete to be popular. So you volunteer all the time. You want to be the best mom in the room, right? You probably have done that. Now, when you live a life of intention, you don't need to be popular. You just need to fulfill your intention. So when people ask you to help them with something, to volunteer with something, and it doesn't go with the goal for the day or the intention of your life, you say no. This goes the same for if you're studying and a friend comes over to you, or if I'm at work and somebody comes knocking on my door and say, hey, can I talk to you for 5 minutes? Well, it's not going to be 5 minutes, because after they talk to you for 5 minutes, it takes you 15 minutes to get back to whatever you're doing, right? So the 5 minutes meeting just become 20 minutes, and you do that 3 times in the hour, you're done for the hour. You're not getting, whatever you're planning to accomplish. So make sure that if whatever they ask you to do is not part of your planned activity, is not going to get you closer to your goal, then you say no. If you have time to do that, that's not the question. This is about getting things done, doing the most of what you can do, and still be happy, right? How many people that you may know, they say, I got to do this and I got to do that, and they're not happy at all. They actually, you know somebody like that? Yeah, they do that and they're unhappy. And I do a lot of things, I'll share with you later, and I'm perfectly happy. The third thing you want to do is to learn how to delegate, okay? At work, you may be delegating to a team. When you're at school and you may be doing a project, you're delegating to your teammates. Delegating doesn't mean give them a list and tell them what to do. Delegating means giving people a list, explaining how to do it, which means the training part, and holding them accountable. So for example, if I tell Stephanie, here's the list of 10 things, and I want you to get back to me and let me know that you've done 1 to 5 by 11 o'clock. And it is now 10:55, okay? You want to make sure that she does those things and she gets back to you. Otherwise, you may be delegating things, you asking people to do this and that, and at the end of the day, nobody's done anything. And then you end up doing everything. Because there are some of you in this room who think that you're perfect, that you do everything better than anybody else. So you keep doing everything yourself, you don't delegate anything because you think you're perfect. How many perfect people do I have in the room? Okay. I think it's just Dan in the back. So, realizing that you can empower other people and leveraging their time and their talent to accomplish what you want is one of the things you can do to get to high performance. Let's talk real quick about clarity. Clarity is also a pillar in high performance. Clarity is knowing who you are, what are your goals, and then you only do the activities that support those goals. So we're going to do a high performance habit right now. I'd like for everybody to close your eyes. Okay? And I'd like for you to think of 3 words that best describe you, your best self. This could be 3 adjectives, it could be 3 nouns. Everybody have the 3 words? Okay, you can open your eyes. Anybody like to share the 3 words? Yes.
Passionate, intelligent, outgoing.
Passionate, intelligent, outgoing. Why are those 3 words important to you?
I like to be passionate about the things that I do, like everything that I do. Otherwise, I feel like it's not worth my time. And intelligent, education and my knowledge has always been really important to me. And outgoing, just so that I ensure I get the most out of my relationships with people.
Great. Anybody else want to share their 3 words? How about you? Yeah, you, looking to the back. Yeah.
Confident, leader, and hard worker.
Hard worker? Mm-hmm. And why are those 3 words important to you?
Confident because I think it's important for me as a woman to be confident about, who I hard worker is because I put my all in everything that I do. So
Okay.
I'm a hard worker.
Okay. So what I recommend for you to do is those 3 words that you just think about, write them down. And you can put on your phone as an alarm. So you have the alarm go off during the day. For me, I have it go off at 10 a.m. and at 1 p.m. When it go off, you're going to look at it and you're going to be reminded that I'm supposed to be this way. Okay? And eventually it's going to become your habit, right? So I'll give you an example. If I show up to my dental office at 9 o'clock and Susie didn't show up, so now I'm already steaming, right? And then the case for the patient is not here, I'm upset. I want to chew up somebody, right? At 10 o'clock, my alarm goes off. One of my words is giving. Okay, then I'm going to have to step back and not chew up anybody, because you can't do that if you're a giving person, right? And then at 1 p.m., the alarm goes off again, then it will remind you of who I'm supposed to be. Does that make sense? Is anybody going to put this in their phone? Yeah? Good. So another pillar of energy I want to talk about, another pillar that I want to talk about is energy. Now, the old way of thinking about energy is, you know what, I'm going to drink coffee all day. So I'm going to be on top of my game, right? And if I get really tired, I'm going to get that Snicker or the energy bar or the Monster drink or whatever you guys do and get a jolt of energy. And you know for a fact you're going to crash right up to that, right? So the new way to think about energy is actually to keep yourself re-energized throughout the day. So the first thing that would help you with that is sleep. How many people know that they should sleep more? Okay. To drink water. How many people know that they're supposed to drink more water? Okay. When you're drinking more water, you're going to energize your body, because otherwise you're dehydrated. You're not thinking. You know, one sign of dehydration is actually a headache. So if you're walking around getting a headache, before you take a Tylenol, you might want to just drink water first. Okay. Not a diagnosis, but that's one thing. If you know you haven't been drinking water, that's one of the things that you probably should do first, right? So the other thing that you can do also to keep yourself energized is to get up and stretch, okay? Because you're sitting all day, when you get up and you move around, you're going to move the blood flow in your body. It goes to your brain, and it will help you with energy. So why don't we all stand up and stretch? Okay? What we can do is we can just stretch from side to side like this. Okay? And make sure you turn all the way to the back. Okay? You turn and you look all the way to the back. Another thing you can do, and I'll show you this one, is you're going to raise up your leg, and then you're going to raise your arm, and you're going to turn toward the leg that you raised. So for example, it will go like this. Okay? Like this. Why don't we try that? And we all stretch. But you have to turn all the way. Okay? You turn all the way like this. How are we feeling? We're feeling good? We got a little bit of energy going on? Okay, and notice, I didn't offer you any Coke or coffee yet. Right? And you just got some of your energy up, right? So let's go ahead and have a seat. And now what I'd like for you to do is just close your eyes. And I want you to take 10 deep breaths. A deep breath means you're going to breathe in and you're going to breathe out, and you can actually hear yourself breathing. And after the 10 deep breaths, I want you to quietly repeat to yourself the word release. Release means you're releasing the tension in your body. You're releasing the stress. You're releasing the frustration. So I just want you to quietly say the word release. Okay, so you can open your eyes. How did that feel? How does it feel?
Well, it was good. I wasn't expecting it working.
Okay, you didn't expect it to work?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? How did that feel to you? Relaxing? Okay, so that was 2 minutes that we just did. How many of you have 2 minutes in the morning to do that? Sometime during the day. How many of you have 2 minutes in the afternoon to do something like that? Okay, so all you did is you just took 2 minutes and you did what we call release meditation. So you just take deep breath and you just sit there and you just repeat the word release to yourself. Okay, would you want to adopt that habit? So when you get all stressed out, you just take 2 minutes and the whole 2 minutes for yourself, right? To rejuvenate. So you know, when somebody look at me, the whole 4 feet 11, okay, not counting the shoes, they may not know that I'm a high performance leader. But to share with you, I started school here in ESL, English as a second language, because remember I didn't speak English. And by the time I graduated from Riverside Poly High, I was a valedictorian. I actually finished UC Riverside here in 3 years. I was in Phi Beta Kappa and magna cum laude. I completed 2 degrees at UCLA in 4 years, my dental degree and a master in oral biology. So now I have 2 dental group practices. I have associates and staff working with me. I also have a coaching practice. Like I said, I'm a certified high-performance coach. I help individuals, regardless of their career path, maximize their potential. If they have a business, they can streamline their business, and they can win back time from work or from school, so they can spend that time with their family, their children, and pursue their passion. We were talking about leveraging time to create social impact. I also have a foundation, the Emily Letran Foundation. We give basic dental care, free dental care, to veterans and families of disadvantaged background, because that's where I came from, and that's where I want to give back. I'm an author of several books. So one of the books I wrote is called From Refugee to Renaissance Woman. This is actually a book that I tell my story, how I came here as a refugee and achieved what I did. So who wants to have this book? Anybody want to have this book? You do? Okay, well, I'm just going to hold the book here until somebody come and take the book from me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How many hands were up? Like maybe 10 hands? But only one person will get up and get the book? So when you want something in life, you better get up and get it yourself. Okay? Because just like I said earlier, you know, with my kids, now they think that I'm the best mom in the world because I'm always there for them. And I'm the best mom in the world because I claim that title, right? I also wrote another book. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Having a Beautiful Smile. So remember, I'm a dentist. Okay? So this talk about your smile, how it can help you be confident, and really how a smile can impact your life and other people's life. Because remember, when you have those beautiful smiles, you're in those memories with your families and your friends. Okay? So who wants to have this book? We're learning fast over here. I also wrote another book. It's called Commit to Embracing Your Big Life. This is a book where I share my strategies, what I've done over the years, setting my goals, sticking to my goals, leveraging other people's time and money to get to where I want. So I also have this book for somebody who want to get up. And this one is the newest one that I just did with my friend. He's a photographer. This book is called Keep Smiling, Shift Happens. Okay? Because you know what? Life is just going to happen. Things are just going to happen. And keep smiling is keeping a positive attitude, making things happen your way because you live your life with intentions and you plan your day accordingly. So who wants to have this book? Oh, there are 3 people. Okay. So I want to share with you 2 quotes. The first one is only 2 things change in your life. Either something new comes into your life or something new comes from within. If you want to be a high performance leader, something new got to come from inside of you, right? Because you want to be dedicating time to develop yourself. The second quote I want to share with you comes from John Wooden. The best competition I have is against myself to get better. Okay, I'll give you an example about this. So we're going to pick Cindy, right? So Cindy, why don't you rank yourself against your friends? You're a student here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you rank yourself against, let's say, 10 friends. You rank yourself, not rank. You rate yourself from 1 to 10 against a group of students. You got a rating for that?
10 is the highest or?
10 is the highest. So from 1 to 10, you're going to give yourself a rating as a student. You got it?
Yeah.
What is it?
7.
A 7. Okay. Now I want you to rate yourself against your God-given potential.
4 or 5.
A 4 or 5. So my point is, we are not at our God-given potential, right? It's very easy to look around and find something who's worse than us, right? So if I'm a dentist, I'm practicing in a city, I say, oh yeah, the guy down the street, he's not as good as me, so now I'm feeling great already, right? But if I'm rating myself against my God-given potential and I know I should be able to do more, then I will strive to achieve more. And that's what you want to do. You're young, you're in school, or you're starting your career, or even if you're in the middle of your career, there's always the next level, okay? And the next level will always offer more, and I'm not talking about money. It's the feeling of fulfillment, that you achieve something. In my case, it would be I can help more people. That's why I created the foundation. That's why I'm coaching, so I can reach more people. Because if I'm doing the dentistry, it's just going to be in a local office, right? So was this helpful, what we talked about today? Okay, so what I like to do, I went to UC Riverside. I graduated in 1989. So what I like to do is I want to offer everybody in this room, if you like, to get on the phone with me and have a coaching session. and we can talk for an hour. We're not going to talk about boyfriend. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about challenges, right? Or frustration, whatever you have. You can go to this webpage. It's called exceptionalleverage.com. And there's a questionnaire on there. You can fill it out, and then you send it to me. And I will be happy to get on the phone and connect with you. You can also email me at coachemilyletran@gmail.com. If you have any questions, any follow-ups that you like for me to talk to you about. If you know that if you know your schedule and you know you want to get in touch with me, I actually have some sign-in sheet in the back. I have blocked off some time for the people that I meet here today. If you know your schedule and you know you have that time, you can write down your name, your email, your phone number. Or if you're not sure about your schedule, you can write your information down and I'll reach out to you and we can set up a time. And I also have one gift. It's an ebook. It's called 5 Secrets to Growing Your Business. It's 5 Secrets to Growing Yourself. Okay? And you can go to exceptionalleverage.com/ebook. And you can check out that ebook and read about it. I have Dan videotaping me in the back so I can go back and watch how I speak in front of the room. We're going to make that video available on my YouTube channel. I think Stephanie said she can also send out a link. So if you want to get back on and just look at it as a reminder, you're welcome to do that. Was this helpful today? Okay. Does anybody have a question for me? Everybody got it down. Everybody is a high performance person already, right? Okay. Well, I'm very thankful that you come in. Oh, I'm sorry, you have a question.
Can you share with us some techniques to deal with stress?
To deal with stress? Well, what?
Meditation, for sure.
What was that?
Meditation, I know, is one.
Okay. Well, for me personally, a lot of time you stress, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, why are you stressed? Right? So that goes back to clarity. Do you know what you're about? Like I said, if 5 people ask you to do 5 different things and you're stressed about it, but really none of it is what's important to you, maybe 4 of the things you can say no to. Okay? So first of all, get very clear on what you want, or who you are, your goal. Then making sure that you have priority. When you know that there's several things that need to be done and you're stressed about it, if you can just prioritize what's important, this is, of these 10 things, actually, I only need to do this one thing, then you're going to take some of that off of your plate, right? Are you stressed about work? Are you stressed about schedule? Or what are we stressed about?
I feel like I don't have enough time during the day to finish everything.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. What do you and Bill Gates have in common?
Is that where I am in it?
Okay. The last group said the same thing, like you guys think he's an alien or something.
The same amount of time during the day. I've heard that before.
Okay. Perfect. That's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
Is you have the same amount of time. That's the same currency that we all have, right? The 24 hours. So why is it that I'm doing several things, let's say compared to your dentist? I don't know if your dentist writes several books. I don't know if your dentist does coaching. I don't know if your dentist has a foundation. But the reason I'm doing all that is, number one, is I'm very clear, right? I know I want to do that. I know it's important to me. I have a reason why I want to do certain things. I write the books because I want to pass along my message so people can do exactly what I do, right? So if I'm clear about that, I will delegate the time to do that, right? And the rest of the time, if I need to do something else, I need to leverage the team. I need to train people. I need to let people know what I need, what I want, and have them collaborate with me. So sometimes you may feel stressed and you don't have enough time because you try to do everything yourself. You must be one of those perfect persons. Okay. No, I'm just teasing you. But does that kind of answer your question? Is really to get clear on what we are, because sometimes, we are stressed about things that we really should not be stressed about. And sometimes it just takes some planning, for you in order to not be so stressed. Like I could be driving here. Actually, I got here with Dan. We got to the parking lot and we didn't know where we were going, right? It's kind of a lack of planning on our part because I forgot which building I'm supposed to go to. But I could be stressed there. But if I plan a little better, remember the building, although I don't know where the building is, right? That would relieve the stress. So sometimes people are stressed because they're running late. They couldn't get to something on time, and all they need to do is add 5 more minutes before that, right? So yeah, I think it all has to do with us, getting very clear on what's important to us, what we want to accomplish, because you can't do everything. And if you sit down and write down everything that you need to do, and then you look at which one of these 10 things that I absolutely have to do, it can only be me, right? And then the rest of them, look for somebody to delegate. Okay. I may say, I make it sound simple, but it has to be deliberate. And of course, you have to get the people that actually support you. But that's how I'm able to do what I do. It's like when UCR say, okay, come here and talk. I block it on my schedule, right? And I make sure I have the time to do that. This week, I actually went to Vegas for one day because I was launching that Keep Smiling book with my friend. So I just flew up the night before, stayed there for one day, we took some pictures, and then I flew back. And the next day I'm back to work. And then I'm coaching people, and then I have this. Next week I'm really excited. We're planning a surprise birthday party for 2 of my kids. So, but all of that only happen if you plan it intentionally and you're not wavering, right? No, that time is for my family, for my kids. If something comes up, you need to find somebody else to take care of that, because this is my time for myself, for my family, or for my work, whatever it is. But what you need to get clear is how important it is, and does it actually take you to do that? Okay? Any other question? Yes?
To be more specifically, what kind of coach do you provide?
I'm a high performance coach. So what that means is I help take you, wherever you are, to the next level. So if you say, let's say if she say, okay, there are too many things to do, I can't do it, right? I would take her through a process where we figure out the clarity part, what's important to you, right? The energy part, are you maintaining your energy, right? Because did you know that if you don't have energy, you're not going to be a very productive person, right? Or you cannot really maintain a good relationship. And you may say, well, I don't have any energy, but I sleep three hours a night. Well, that's not going to work. So we have to make those changes starting with us. So that's what I do, is I help people, develop those habits so they can become a high performance individual. Okay. Does that answer your question? Okay. Any other question? Well, thank you very much for coming in and for patiently listening to me. So I hope you find this of value. So now you can go out and rock the world, and may the floss be with you. Okay? Thank you.